Ian Albert Etheridge. So in that name has so many different connotations. Albert is the common one. Your great grandfather on your mama's side, your great grandfather on your dad's side, it was Mima's dad. That's where your name comes from. Albert is the name of kings, and you, son, are a king. No doubt about it. Growing up, you were so different than the kids. You had no fear. I mean, between you and me, there was no fear in the first 6 years of your life. I never touched you, never raised a hand to you. The first 2 years, you would have nothing to do with anybody but me. You just wanted daddy. You'd hold my hand. You would not let me run. If I tried to sneak out the door, you'd come running after me. Uh, you would latch onto me. I mean, you did not want me out of your sight. So much to the point that you've heard the story before that your grandparents on your mom's side did not want me to come over when she brought you over because they never got to spend any time with you because you wouldn't get out of my lap. I can remember picking you up from daycare at 4 or 5, and you told me that you'd gotten in trouble and realized that I got in trouble today. You'd hit some kid. But there was absolutely no fear, nothing. You told me, and we talked about it, and it was great. You know, when I dropped you off at daycare, you hated it. You'd come running to me, and there was only one lady at the place that could take you that would, I think she was a cook, a Hispanic lady. And then watching you grow up over the years, and all the little girls gathering around you. I don't know if you remember, I used to come to your school when you had lunch and stuff, and I would watch you play with all your friends. There's all these little black girls following you. You were so funny. You were so smart. You were so loving. And it's not you were, it's that you are. You're still that way. Though a part of you, as you've gotten older and into your college years, you've gotten very cynical. It started actually when you were in high school. A joke about when I would try to make you laugh or whatever, and you'd go, try not to laugh. And just a phase you're going through. But as you got older, I always thought that you were sort of embarrassed of Dad. That when I talked to you, you would get this tone in your voice, and you talk to me like I was stupid or like I was just irritating the hell out of you when I shut up. Now, before you were 18, before you went off to college, I used to confront you on it. I'd get in your face. I would use my intimidation techniques to put fear in you because I figured if I wasn't going to get respect from you, naturally, by God, you're going to respect me through fear, that you would fear me. We saw that when you were growing up with Aaron. That was one thing I could not stand was bullying, and you'd bully your brother, and I'd tell you what not to do, and then you'd do it anyways. And I just hated the fact that that brothers weren't treated each other like brothers. And then Aaron did everything in his boat to pull your cord. I understand that. Wouldn't do anything. You ended up cleaning and doing everything by yourself. And there was a time frame when I used to spank you, but I used to never ever initially it was with my hands until you were getting no too old where my hands hurt. But I remember the old dreaded broomstick. But Daddy went way out of his way to show you that I wasn't swinging that broomstick. You remember? I would just take that wrist, snap it forward, but I'd hit you twice in the same spot. I always regretted it because I hated it as a child. I didn't want to rule through fear. And every time when I would get in your face and put my will over yours and do that, and I'd see that look in your face, I'd die because it's the same. I was doing the same thing my father did to me. And for that, I apologize from the bottom of my heart. But as you went to college, I stopped that. I did everything you talked to me, and there's lots of times you talked with me with disrespect, like I was irritating, like I was stupid. and you were frustrated with me, and you didn't. I mean, and that hurts. I'll be honest with you. But I didn't yell at you anymore. You got to admit that. I didn't threaten you. I didn't say I was going to kick your ass. I didn't do any of that. You did get to the point where I didn't really want to talk with you because I didn't want to feel. I didn't want to feel bad. I didn't want to feel like my son didn't love me or my son hated me, or that I was an irritant or I was an embarrassment. And I can see where that would come from because I'm sort of a goofball. I crack the same stupid jokes over again. I do my racist jokes. I do my homophobe jokes. But I always made it clear to you growing up that I loved you for who you were. Not for whom I wanted you to be, but from who you were. And once, I know I didn't just, you say, there was a time when I said, yeah, you were too young, you really didn't know what you wanted to do. But, honey, I never tried to change you. I never tried to make you go any way other than what you wanted to do. And once you were old enough that, I say, that's it, then that was it. I regret that you never loved, or you didn't trust me enough or felt comfortable enough to feel free to bring your friends around, your boyfriends. I was actually looking forward to that, but I know I'm sorry if it was that comes from a place of embarrassment for you, that you were embarrassed to bring your friends by to see me. I'll take full responsibility for that. I'm sorry, because I really wanted to be there for you in that part of your life. I'm sorry I wasn't for you. I hope that you continue in your life and that you do go forward with having a surrogate mother, and that it is your child. It is your bloodline. I don't want your bloodline to end with you. I want you to have a son that is your son, not an adopted son. I'd love for you to have a son that nobody can take away from you, like a real wife, or even if you adopt a son and then you get a husband, don't let them adopt your kids. And it's just because you don't need to get into that. People do get divorced, like your daddy did. You follow your heart sometimes, and sometimes your heart leads you in places it shouldn't. But it should never cost you your children. Never. It should never separate you from your children. Never. So I hope you have children, and I hope you have several. I hope you have at least 2 boys, maybe 3, or at least a boy and a girl. And I want you to be the best parent that you can possibly be. And I hope that there are things that I taught you as a parent by being your dad that you loved, felt like you can emulate. There's something that you wanted to be. I'm sorry if I wasn't someone you could be proud of to other people, because no matter what I said in the last couple of years, you'd always like, come on, I tried to joke, and I just could never get through to you. And that hurt me, but I accept the blame for that. Know that I love you, I will always love you, and that you were my oldest, and really in so many ways, because I never got to be with Patrick and Travis. So you were my first kid that I had for years and raised, and so in many ways I looked at you as being my firstborn, just the way of the beast. I did look at you that way, and I loved that opportunity. I mean, there's a lot I could tell you. I don't know. I wish we had the time and we had the comfort level that you could sit down and ask me questions, and I could answer them, and that I could tell you all about what went on in my past, what went on with your mother, what led me to things. But that opportunity came and went. I'm sort of glad that I don't have to explain to you what happened to me when I was, 7 years old, and then again all through my life growing up, and then what I did when I, you know, got older myself. Your brothers will fill you in on all the details. I'm not going to go into it here. Because then I did tell Patrick and Travis because their mother had been telling them for years. Painted me out to be the giant boogeyman. In a lot of ways, I could see why. I never tried to justify my past or what I did and used my illness to, and like I said, when you read this, your brothers will fill you in. I always accepted full responsibility. I might not remember it, which I didn't. I just wish that, like I said, I just wish that I could have been much closer to you. I couldn't have been any more prouder than what I am with you. Anybody will tell you that as close that you're like Ginger Mom or your Karen Mom, that the first thing out of my mouth is I've got this son who's so smart, so brilliant, so driven, so determined, has known what he's wanted to be since he was in high school, and he went for it. I am super stoked that my Air Force benefits allowed to put you through school and save you all that money. I'm thrilled. I hope to see you tomorrow if you make it. And then we'll see if something were to happen tomorrow, well, that'll be the end of this, and this will be the end of that. But tomorrow things will change. Thursday or Friday, we will know the scope of where we are and where we're going to move forward with this. But know that this is yours. This is for you, and only for you. I have broken these out onto my phone, and Ginger Mother knows that you're supposed to get them, and who gets what. I wish I'd be there for your wedding, the birth of your firstborn, you making principal, school superintendent, professor. But know that I'm there. Well, you might not see me, and I won't be able to answer you when you talk to me because no one has so far. If I do, it'll be the first. But I truly believe that in my heart of hearts that I'll be there. And that whenever you invoke my name or think of me, that the universe responds to that. I hope there's a heaven, because if there is, I'll be waiting there for you. Tell you how proud I am of you and how much I love you. And if it's a parallel universe, then so be it. I mean, whatever it is. That I go into this no longer afraid because of the legacy that I left behind in you and your brothers and your sister. That's my immortality. And I'm not ashamed of any of you. For nothing. For you being the oldest, you need to set the example. You need to take care of your younger brothers, and that includes Matthew. And I know you get frustrated with him, but, he holds you in high esteem. Okay? Know that I love you. Know that I will miss you. Especially around Christmas, your birthday, Easter, all the special days. I'll see you on the other side, sweetheart. Love you.